Thanks for joining me today. I'm going to show you how to make these crochet Christmas balls from Hobbii. Please like and subscribe and let's jump into it. Okay, so to start, I'm going to be using this 4mm crochet hook, and I'm going to be using loops and threads, medium weight yarn, which is a size 4 in bright red. So we're going to start with a magic ring. So take the short end of your working yarn and hold it with your thumb and middle finger, and you're going to take your working yarn and wrap it around that short piece, cross over. Make sure that this is on top. You're going to take your hook, go through, twist it around, grab your working yarn, so the piece that's attached to your ball of yarn, and you're going to pull it back through this loop. And that is your magic circle. I'll do that one more time. So you're going to hold the short piece of your working yarn between your middle finger and thumb. Take this and wrap it around, making sure it is crossed over. You're going to go under, grab the top, pull through. Make sure when you pull through you twist so it grabs on to your hook. You're going to grab your working yarn again and pull through. And that is your magic circle or ring. And we're going to single crochet 6. So 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, and then you're going to take this short piece and make sure before you tighten this that all your stitches are facing the same way, otherwise they get twisted and you're going to have a hard time trying to fix it. So we're going to take this short piece and we're going to tighten it so that now our 6 stitches look like this. All of your stitches are on the outside here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now for step 2, we're going to increase in each stitch. So this is a really good spot to grab a stitch marker. I have these ones. They're a little big for what I'm doing, but that's okay. You can get smaller ones at Michael's or you can order them online. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a single crochet into this first stitch. So we're going to go 1, and I'm going to mark this so I know where I've just started. So put it into that stitch you just made, and now we're going to do another single crochet into this same stitch because that will be our increase. So another single crochet, and then in the next stitch we'll do another 2 single crochets. So same stitch again, and this is how we're going to go from 6 stitches to 12 stitches. So in all 6 stitches you want to do 2 single crochets. So 4 more left. Alright, so that should give us 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Perfect. So now our next step, we are going to work 1 single crochet and then an increase alternating. So into this one where your stitch marker is, this is the start of your new row. We're going to do 1. Okay, move your stitch marker to the stitch that we just did. So you want to make sure that this is marked, just so then you know where your row ends and begins. So we started with 1, And now we're going to do an increase. So do 2 single crochets into your next stitch. And then it's going to be a single crochet and then a single crochet increase. And then 1 increase, 1 increase, 1 increase, 1 increase, 1. So that should give us 18 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Perfect. So we have 18 stitches. So now for our next row, we are going to single crochet in 2 stitches, and then we're going to increase and then do another 2. So we're going to do 1 single crochet to start. Make sure you are marking every time you restart or start your new row, just so then you know where you are. So we've started with 1 single crochet, and now we're going to do another single crochet. And now we're going to increase, and then 1 single crochet, a second single crochet, and then again we're going to increase, and then 1, 2, increase, 1, 2, increase, 1, increase. Alright, so for this one, we're going to do 2 single crochets and then 2 increases. So I'm going to start where my stitch marker is, and feel free to take your stitch marker out before you start your next row. I just prefer to do it while it's still in my crochet. So 1, and then make sure you move your stitch marker, then 2, increase, then 1, 2, increase, 1, 2, increase, 1, 2, increase, 1, 2, increase, 1, 2, and we're going to finish off with an increase. And that will give you 24 stitches, and it should start to kind of look like a bit round on the bottom. If you find that you have a big gap here in the middle, what you can do is take the short piece and just tighten it, and it will tighten the end there. But try not to make it too tight, otherwise this may lose its shape. So now our next round, we're going to be 3 single crochets and then an increase. So we'll start with our 3 single crochets. So there's 1, move your stitch marker, 1, right, 2, 3, now we're going to increase, do our 3, increase, do our 3, increase, three, increase, 3 again, increase, 3, and we're going to end with an increase in our last stitch of this row. So that will put us at 36. Okay, so next that will put us at 30. Our next row we are going to be working, we are going to do 4 single crochets and then an increase to get to 36. So we'll do 1, make sure to move your marker. You can also just use a scrap piece of yarn or a safety pin or anything that will mark your stitch for you. So we start with 1, and we're going to do a total of 4 single crochets before we get to our increase. So 2, 3, 4, increase, 1, 2, 3, 4, increase, 4 single crochets, increase, 4, increase, 4, increase, 4, and end off with an increase. All right, now we are at 36. So our next one, we are going to do 5 single crochets and then an increase. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then an increase, 5, increase, 5, increase, 5, increase, 5, increase, 5, and end with an increase. Okay, that will give you 42 stitches all the way around. And now we are going to work our 8th row, and it's going to be 6 single crochets and then an increase. So 1, 2, and with each of these increase rows, you just do the same thing all the way to the end. It's my increase, so we're at 6 again. Increase. Six. Increase. 6. Increase. 6. increase to your 6, okay, and end with an increase. A good trick I find is when you're doing increase rounds, you most likely will always end with an increase. So if you end with, say, 1 single crochet when you're supposed to be crocheting 3 and then increase, you know something's wrong. So try and make sure that this is always an increase, and always just go back and try to count your rounds after each one. So we are at 48 altogether. As you can see, it's starting to become the bottom of our Christmas ball. And now what we are going to do from rows 9 to 17, we are going to just single crochet all the way around all these stitches. So it's going to build up and up and up until it is our ball. So I will do round 9 with you, and then afterwards feel free to pause the video, and I will meet you back here when you are ready to work on row 18. So you're just going to keep single crocheting until you get to the end of row 17, and then I will meet you back here with how to work the last few rows so that we can finish off our Christmas balls for our holiday trees. Just finish this up here. I'll show you what it kind of looks like once you finish a non-increase round. Okay. You see, try and make sure that you don't take your stitch marker out. This is our last stitch here. Right. So that's what it's going to start to look like. And as you do more, it's going to get higher. So I will meet you back here when you are ready to start row 18 and start closing off your holiday ball. Okay, so now for row 18, we're going to single crochet 6, and then we're going to single crochet 2 together. So start with our 6. Okay, and for our decrease, I'm going to do an invisible decrease so that you can't see where we're decreasing once this is all done. So how you do a invisible decrease is you take your hook and go through the front loop of your next stitch, and then the stitch beside that one you go through the front loop again. So you'll have 3 stitches on your hook. Take your working yarn, wrap it around, pull through the 2. You'll have 2 on your hook, and then you're going to pull through the 2, and that is an invisible decrease. Then we're going to do our 6, do that invisible decrease again, so front loop only, and then in the stitch beside you want to do the front loop only. Wrap around. So in here, in this one, you have 3 stitches, 2, and then pull through the 2, go through 6 again. Another invisible decrease again through the front loop of 1 stitch, through the front loop of the second, you'll have 3, wrap around, pull through 2, wrap around your hook again, pull through the next 2. That is another invisible decrease, and we'll do 6. Another invisible decrease, 6, invisible decrease, 6, and end off with an invisible decrease. Okay, so at this point, this pattern calls for a styrofoam ball to put in to your Christmas ornament. But I don't have a styrofoam ball, so what I am going to do is I am actually just going to stuff this with polyfill. As long as you stuff it firmly, it will have mostly a ball shape. Just stuff it firm and it will hold its shape. So I am going to do a few more decrease rounds, and then I'm going to stuff it. So you should have 42 stitches now in up here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to single crochet 5 and then do a decrease, 5, decrease. So start with our 5. Decrease, invisible decrease, 5, decrease, 5, decrease, five, decrease, five, decrease, five, okay, and we're going to end off with a decrease. Okay, and that will give you 36. So now what we're going to do is do 4, and then we're going to do 4 and a decrease. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do that invisible decrease again. And then 4. Invisible decrease. 4. Invisible decrease. 4. Invisible decrease. Make sure it is just in those front loops. 4. Invisible decrease. 4. And you can do a normal decrease if you want. I just find the invisible decrease makes projects look a lot neater. So we're going to do this 4. And I just find it makes it look a lot neater because with your normal decrease, you can see on your projects where you've decreased, whereas with the invisible, you can't see it. So it just looks a lot more fluid in your stitches. And we'll end off with this invisible decrease. Perfect. So that will put us at 30. And as you can see, it's starting to become our ball shape, and this is starting to get smaller. So now we're going to do 3 and a invisible decrease. So we'll start with our 3 single crochets. Okay, invisible decrease. 3. Invisible decrease. Okay, 3. Invisible decrease. 3. invisible decrease, three, invisible decrease, then three, and an invisible decrease. Alright, so that is going to put us at 24 stitches, and as you can see, we are starting to close. So what I'm going to do before I keep going is I'm going to pull this loop really big, just so we don't lose it, and I'm going to stuff this firmly with polyfill. So this is the classic fiber fill I have that I get from Michael's, and this bag I believe is about $5. It works really well. I use it for a lot of different things, mostly for stuffies, but you can also use it for this. So what we're going to do is we are going to just stuff this until it is firm, because we want it to hold its round shape. If you have a styrofoam ball and you put it in our last, in the last row, in row 18, that's perfect as well. I don't have any styrofoam balls, so I am just going to use my polyfill, which also works just as well. So you just want to make sure to stuff it really firm, and it will hold its shape. As you can see, you do have to play with it a little bit, but it is becoming a Christmas ball shape. And so I will probably stuff it a little more once before row 24, which is our last row. So I'm just going to stuff it as much as I can in this step, and then I'm going to work our last few rows, see if it needs any more polyfill to keep its shape. And if it does, I'll stuff it a little more, but as you can see, even with just polyfill, it is still a nice Christmas or holiday ornament shape if you don't celebrate Christmas. So now that I'm done with the polyfill for right now, we're going to put our hook back through and just tighten that loop back onto your hook. And now what we are going to do is we are going to work row 22, and we are going to do a single crochet all the way around with a decrease. So 1, okay, invisible decrease, and it is a little trickier to crochet when things do have polyfill or you're crocheting around an object, but just keep at it and it will get easier as you go and make more rows. All right, so this is our decrease. One, decrease, one, decrease. Make sure it's an invisible decrease if that's what you've been following along with. 1, visible decrease. Ooh, there goes that stitch marker where you gotta be careful. I believe that was right here. Let's hope. Okay, we are at 1, visible decrease, all right. 1, invisible decrease. One, and I've got a stray stitch there because I lost my stitch marker at that one point. So let's see what that has. 1, 2, 3, 17. And we should be at 12, so that just tells me that I put that stitch marker in the wrong place. So we're going to do a decrease, 1, and a decrease, invisible decrease, excuse me. Okay, so 15, so we're going to do 1 and an invisible decrease. Okay, 1. And sometimes you need to be careful because that stuffing will try to pop out through your stitches and it can be a bit of a pain to get it back in there. So 1, and then an invisible decrease. All right, 1 and an invisible decrease. Okay, so that is going to give you 12 stitches. And at this point, just see if you want to stuff your ornament anymore, or if you like the firmness of it and the shape, then we can just continue to our last round. I think I am not going to stuff it any more than it is. So what we are going to do is now we are going to just do multiple decreases. So we're just going to do decrease all the way around these 12 stitches. So we'll do an invisible decrease. And that is all you're going to do all the way around. Another invisible decrease, and feel free to put your stitch marker in that first invisible decrease that you were in, just so then you kind of know where you are. But this is the closing row. So we're just going to keep going till this is closed. You will be left with 6 stitches in total. And then what you're going to do is you are going to cut your working yarn. And you want to take a yarn needle, so you just want something that will fit. I have this pack from Michaels. So you're going to take, what first you're going to do is take what you just cut off, wrap it around your hook, and pull it through so that this will not come undone. So this will be tight. And then what you will do is you will thread this through your needle, which can be a little tricky sometimes because there are 4 separate threads or pieces of yarn that are wound together that you're trying to get through that needle. goes. Might take a couple tries, and then what we're going to do is we're going to take our needle and go through the stitch, pull through, go through the next stitch, pull through, go through this next one, pull through. We just kind of want to cinch it so that it is closed at the top. So just keep going through all those stitches. And then what I like to do is I take my needle, because you have this little bump here, and I put it through the middle, and I pop it out from whatever side. And then when you pull this tight, it gets rid of that bump for the most part there. And also, so that is our single color solid Christmas ornament. And then now what we're going to make is we're going to make the top of this so that we can hang it off of our tree. So cut this off just where you've popped it out the side. So then we can put our needles back. So we don't need those right now. And what I am going to do is I don't quite have a metallic. Okay, so now we're going to make the top so we can hang it from our tree or from wherever you're hanging it. So I don't have a metallic yarn, so I'm going to use this dark green from Loops and Threads. So make a slip knot. Okay, and we're going to work 12 single crochets into row 23. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we're going to start from this one. Just try and pre-count your stitches so that you know where you're going. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a slip knot into this first one, just to make sure that green is attached to the red. And then just do a single crochet in that slip knot. And now we are going to single crochet 12. Okay. 2. This can be a little difficult, just try to take your time. Totally okay if you need to start over, as this is a little funny to do. 3. 4. Okay. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. 11. Just be careful there. Watch where your stitches are going. 11 and 12. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're just going to single crochet the 12 again, so just into these stitches here. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, and we're going to do that a total of 2 more times. So for rows 3 and 4, just single crochet 12. Okay, last row, just do another 12. And if you find this is getting in your way, feel free to just cut it a little shorter, or you can even just stuff it in here. So you don't want to cut it too short, as that is holding our slip knot in place. So this is what it's looking like. So one more round of 12. Okay, and that is the last row. Oh, so I wasn't using my stitch counter, but, not my stitch counter, my stitch marker, but you can do that. So once this is done, what we are going to do is we are going to cut our working yarn. Cut it however long you want. We are going to take it and attach it to the other side of this so that you can hang it from the tree. So cut it, and then you're going to finish off by wrapping this working yarn around your hook and pull through. So you're left with this, and then what we're going to do is we're just going to stick our hook into this side. Actually, we're going to go through the inside. Take your piece of yarn and pull through. And then simply, you're just going to tie a knot. I always just like to do 2 just to try and make sure it's not gonna pop through your stitches there, as I have had that happen before. So there are my 2 overlapping each other. And this little piece you can just shove into the middle, And that is our Christmas ornament. Didn't really think of the color scheme for this. I was just thinking Christmas. So that's our Christmas ornament, and I can't wait to put my Christmas tomato on my tree. So thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I will link the Hobbii pattern down below. I do really like the Hobbii patterns. They have a bunch of free patterns. You do need to make an account, but you can get a lot of cute patterns. They have ornaments, toys, clothes, blankets, everything you can think of. And they also do have some really nice yarn you can order. This isn't sponsored, I just really like the Hobbii patterns, and I will be making the multicolored one next to follow along to. So thank you so much for staying and making this Christmas ball with me, and I hope to see you in the next one.